the game.
Yeah, and it's another one of Nahaz's lines. One of why he really likes Nyx as a hero is it sort of functions as a ban. You can't pick certain heroes into him. It's the same with Bat, where a lot of the Nico heroes like just kind of become outdated when it's selected. I'm surprised they really couldn't have gone Void in that last game. I feel like the patch has really just changed Nico Baby, and like he's not really able to play those same style of heroes anymore. They're still trying to find his
Yeah, it's like the previous patch was more about around the one position, whereas now we're seeing a lot more priority on what the two can get done on the map, right?
Well, that's where you would expect, like, through Limp and then through S4, the fact that they are the same type of player, if they have decent lanes and good games, that those two players together with the support should be able to make enough space to enable the fragility of Nico Baby's hero pool, right? But when they have bad lanings, it does whatever.
Yeah, well, yeah, but also it's, it's not just like, oh, find kills, make space. Kills really don't mean anything anymore. It's more about creep wave control. How fast are you killing creeps? How are you obtaining control of enemy jungle? That's why you typically see more heroes like Bristle. Timbersaw is a perfect example, where Timber obviously has no stun, but he'll often control the map a lot more efficiently than, say, a Blink Dagger stun hero can, simply because of how much more of a threat you can be. You win any sort of one-on-one matchup, you draw other extra heroes into your lane. That's what actually frees up space for your carry, not the ability to find kills necessarily.
Yeah, more importantly, shrink that map quickly. But it looks like the DK did make it through. So Alliance, instead, they go for the Kotl, which I think was banned last time as well.
Yeah, it was. And it's a FNG classic. It's going to bring stability. Actually, Nico Baby does play TB. And Kotl TB, very strong duo still. I know that Nip, for example, they have played countless games where it's looked like a hard game and this TB just demolished the game. So I would maybe like to see Alliance shift to a comfort Nico Baby type hero, and it's already got a good pairing. But we'll see, depending on these two picks, of course.
Well, we'll see what Secret wants to now open it up with.
I wouldn't be shocked to see a Nyx. That's even better. I love the Pugna.
Okay.
Into Kotl just makes total sense. The Nether Ward effectively kills Kotl when he gets off around his spells. And if it's a core, Decrep into Blast Dagon is effectively a kill.
I look forward to the days of the core Pugna coming back. It's been a support for like the last month or so, but core Pugna is always close to home.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a weird one that you either like snowball with it or you become a support later on the game, right? Where you're like decrepping and life draining the crucial core. Or you're just running over the game with a Dagon 5, laughing at everyone.
Earth Shaker.
Shaker again, no surprise. This is an immediate Ember if I'm Alliance here.
Yeah, it works really well with the Kotl, right?
Yep.
And
always catch a Pugna.
Yeah.
Forces it to be somewhat a support.
And you need reach, preferably with like some mixed damage attached, so Ember just makes sense. Void Spirit's also a possibility, but Ember's got better synergy with the Kotl, even after the change to mana.
Yeah, it was a slight nerf.
It's a no-brainer.
Yep.
Yeah, remaining one of the most picked heroes for good reason.
Same with the Shaker, though, to be fair. I think Shaker is still underutilized because it's one of those heroes, and it's best utilized by squads like Secret, where that 10 to 20% of the time it's a core, and it's got a good matchup, and it's going to own a game. But it can allow you to be creative. You're never really going to lose your lanes with the Shaker because, in theory, you can double block, ensure you have lane control up in the top lane. You can pull creeps. One of the few heroes that can rush Boots or Bassi have like no regen, doesn't matter. You just get Fissures, which very easy to CS archers. You really just can't get crushed with the hero, and then later on you're so good at making rotations with a timely block.
Yeah, it's always a hero that actually has worth as the game goes on, and
that too.
Unlike other heroes, it's not necessarily limited to just its ultimate.
Like Lich triple.
Yeah, like Lich just eventually becomes a creep, whereas at some point, even with a naked Earthshaker has like 2,000 health and stuns attached to his hero in a radius. Come on.
Do they have to ban Monkey King here on Alliance because of the flexibility Secret has?
I think so. I think Secret is, you always got to be keeping Monkey King in mind. It's a really tough matchup for the Ember, although I will say I kind of like Kotl. If you just pop ulti, killing all the trees, not to mention you have crazy area control. It's very easy to disrupt the Monkey King or counter-initiate if the Wukongs goes down.
Same way Mars can ruin the life of Monkey Kings at the moment. We haven't seen the Mars just yet, but there's still plenty of time. They are taking the time with this ban. Last time they did ban out the Monkey King to cover the Ember, though, as you were mentioning. I think it's the most clear one for them. They still need another support as well on the side of Alliance. Anything you'll lean? Oh, Juggernaut ban.
Yeah, pretty good against Kotl. It's a classic matchup, right? Spin, kill the Wisp. I like for Alliance, I like the idea of like an Earth Spirit. Double up on your jump. Ember Earth Spirit combo. Always get to the back line.
And you're just full of ideas, huh?
We saw an Earth Spirit earlier today.
Sometimes you have to have an idea or Two. And then
Yeah, sometimes you have to innovate or you just get kicked. You know.
Thanks.
Necrophos, though, Team Secret are keeping it consistent here.
Yeah. It's, again, a lot of self-sustain. These heroes have methods of keeping themselves alive. Coddle Ember, none just yet. And I'm telling you, regen's still busted. We keep nerfing regen items, but these heroes that can effectively double their HP pools using their abilities are just not... There's not enough to stop healing. Stand by this.
This is a cheeky little Veno game if I've ever seen one.
Oh, God.
There's no way you can fit it into your draft, but...
It's a green hero.
If I ignored Coral Ember, if I completely closed my eyes to their draft and saw those 3 heroes, I'm like, Veno could look cool, but you have Coral Ember.
I feel like you're just in one of those drunk meme moods where you're like, you know, if we just took the Shaker out, we could make a green team right now.
No, like, I'm just saying Veno is good against those 3 heroes. In this draft,
Yes.
not at all. I'm not asking them to pick it. I'm just saying those 3 heroes set you up for a good Veno game.
You're saying if you could rewind their draft and have a cheat sheet advantage over the other team and keep the picks.
I was just raising
Guys,
the point.
I think
not
Veno's
linked
a
to the
dead
draft.
hero, folks. I'm not a believer. That is, he's just so damn slow. There's
Talk to Kezu
possibilities,
about that,
but
man. Poor Kezu.
the problem with heroes like Veno is,
They don't do anything
Bat,
for a long
Necro,
time.
they always provide, they do things that give you a win condition always.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't, like, sure, you can pick annoying heroes for Bat, but a Lasso can always win you the game. Venomancer in a poor game is just worthless.
Reference Liquid.
Absolutely worthless. And that's the issue with heroes like that, because you're going to have to pick them early.
Yeah.
You can't pick a Veno early. Love the Gyro. It's just super solid, straight-up fight. He'll get an early BKB. You've got a Shaker to play with. These 2 supports just get shredded by heroes that run at them, and now you've got a Gyro and a Necro with a Shaker behind. Love this pick. Could see, Morph is banned. Maybe a Dusa comes out, the old school illusion core to pair with the Shadow Demon for Nico. It's possible. Luna. Hey.
You're reaching there, buddy. That's
Last time we saw Luna, was that not the Ags rushing Luna that...
Nip did, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Probably best not to talk about that one.
I just love the way Secret's drafting. I really do. And in theory, because they have so much versatility, this could be their 3 cores. They last pick a Puppy hero, a Yapsor hero. This could be a Zai Necro and a last pick mid.
Yeah,
It could be
exactly.
Gyro mid.
Yeah,
It's once again a scenario where Secret have last pick, and it can be any hero for any player. And that's a really good position to find yourself in as last pick. And Centaur into Necrophos.
That's screaming, please hit me, Papa. Then again, it does give them a little bit of bully in the lane. A hero that can also push towers early, right?
Yep. They're definitely going to Dusa here if it survives the banning phase.
It's a decent game for like a Dusa later on with the Skadi as well, right? Because we talked about the sustain that Secret are looking for. Skadi got changed now, so you have the 30% reduced healing.
Play for 25.
There it is again. So what do you round out
when
with?
you do, like, even though Secret have, like, all the heal, like, they only really have Shaker as, like, their stop running at us hero, right? So even though, like, Necro every Centaur, so you can blow him up, it's the fact that if you get that Stampede, Ember has that decent lane and they run, it's like you don't have that way of going, please stop running at us.
They could Animage, but I don't think that wins you the game here. I think you want to spread damage carry, and preferably something that SD can synergize with.
Also a carry that can actually join some of these critical early fights just to turn the tide. When you're playing against Secret, you want to be able to actually take that early fight.
If they went for something like a Terrorblade here as an example, you're just like, well, you're going to lose your towers, you're going to get ran
Shaker,
at.
Pugna, Gyro against
BKBs.
TB. No, that's terrible. Yeah,
exactly.
you can't.
Can't PL, can't really Naga. It's kind of got to be. I could see them going Lifestealer, but it's like the
Yeah,
hero
not good.
in this sort of game. It's
So you're
too
thinking
much
like
single
TB
target.
or Dusa maybe are like the top
No
options?
Terabyte. It's Dusa, and maybe there's a niche chance they go for an AM. Luna. Those are your options here.
Well, we'll see what Secret are actually thinking on the bound side. What does Secret need to round out? Obviously, they have they can wait a little bit
The
longer.
fact that, like, we've already said
Whatever they want.
the draft's so flexible, they just wait. They see whatever alliance pick, and then they go with the gotcha look at the fact that we've set our draft up like this.
One of the first prescient things T-Governor has said all week.
It's not the T Governor way. He needs like just a cup of tea right now, so that when you say that, he
man.
can just smugly just sip it.
Just yesterday, Kyle, we had a great day. We were bouncing off. We had
We didn't
draft.
work together yesterday.
Who did? Was it the day before? I don't know. Oh,
Yeah.
whatever.
You
Points-
boys are definitely
points
building up
busted.
some tension between you.
iPad's
on
closed.
that
What kind of tension?
Well, I wouldn't want to repeat what the Twitch chat was saying.
Why are you reading Twitch, man?
I like them. They're nice people.
Social distancing is important, and when it comes to this panel, I hope it never goes away. I hope I can stay socially distanced from a boy on my left for forever, really.
Yeah, do you want us to go? I think just take the hint.
You're gonna get
problems.
the producer mad at us. You can't change the shot, T-Gov.
I don't care anymore.
You've
Kyle.
ruined every beautiful piece of detail that was so specifically placed on this panel.
Actually,
And that is the Luna.
What have they picked?
What'd I say?
Have they ruined their draft for this
No,
specific hero?
it had to be. It was Luna or Dusa. It has to be one of the
close
two.
that. Broke this
Because, and also, if there were ever a game for Luna, it could be this one. When you consider that you have Coddle to give the double beam action, you've got a Centaur to provide some front line, and there's an SD behind it. Like, if there was a Luna game, this is it. This is why, even if it's off meta, you see it coming. And it does make more sense than the Dusa in the sense that it'll be more aggressive, and you can also pressure towers earlier.
That's the thing, right? This is one of these heroes that as you get later in that game, is a hero that if you lose one fight against it, your base is going to go bye-bye.
There's the Monkey King. That's an offlane Necro now into the Luna. Gyro carry, Monkey mid against the Ember. I love what Secret's got. I think Alliance have a chance here. A super fat Luna can just straight up shred a game, but I still sort of like Secret's lineup more.
The key thing here, I think, is Luna is quite a slow hero in terms of you need to access your jungle, SD stacks. Luna needs to farm that. Monkey's already in a good matchup. You have a good matchup. You can then move aggressively across the river into the enemy jungle. You pair that with the Shaker sent behind you. Then Luna doesn't have that free farm for her side. And it takes maybe an extra 5-6 minutes to get online, 10 minutes. And I think...
So maybe the concern is that Secret can push early enough that they just yoink any farm that's
I think
it's
about this Monkey King lane and the fact that the Monkey King goes well, controls the enemy jungle, and then you have this Pugna constantly chipping down your towers. Early B can be on Gyro, and it's just that this big cohesive death ball where Luna's trying to catch up her farm, and I just think Secret, they're gonna have the second game.
Yeah.
All right. So what percentages are we putting on this? Because it's not 100% in Secret's favor.
This is a 70-30, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say like 75-25. Yeah, pulling a Kyle play, you take the first number, you minus
gotta
5.
keep in mind, it's Coddle Centaur. It's so easy to turn around fights with the Coddle and a Centaur. And you look at these Secret heroes,
Centaur,
they
not
can
a Kyle
find...
Centaur.
Yeah, it sounded like it's a Kyle Centaur.
Yeah, it sounded like you were claiming ownership of the Centaur. Like, it's a Kyle Centaur. Like, it's gonna... No,
If it was,
Centaur.
you know, S4 might have won TI, but, you know, I did BDG in a couple of qualifiers.
Well, let's maybe talk to someone who's got a more impressive competitive career. We've got OD Picks on Fogged on the line, ready to take this one away. How about it, boys? Well, they said they were there.
Go on, mate. You got
All
this.
right, I just have this effect on people.
When you just gotta pause beat and just repeat it again, and then they'll
Hello,
take it.
Owen. Okay, no, there's some technical issues.
I really wish that they just left the camera focused on him every time he does the segues, just to really put the pressure on when they go wrong.
Just put music on at that point to try and smooth the mood. I guess since we've got a second. Oh, hello, Owen. Hello, honey, you there?
Do you hear me?
Yeah, we got him back.
There we go.
Did you
I
mute
just
yourself?
had to say hello 100 times and then it finally worked. We're good. We're good. We're live. Hello, everyone.
Have we got
Welcome to Game 2. We're good. Are we good?
All right, we're good, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I was
okay.
saying that I have a worse career record than Kyle by a good amount, probably, but yeah, thank you for that.
Cheers, buddy.
I got you.
Wow. Fucked.
All right,
What are we ranking?
let's get into this.
Game
What do we
2?
got going on? We got a Luna.
I'm seeing an SD Luna. I'll be honest, the panel says 70-30. This one feels more like a 90-10 to me. I'm a little worried for Alliance in this game, Fog.
Okay. I'm a little worried. However, let's see. I'm trying to look into the Luna, and I'm like trying to see the benefits too, because I've not seen this hero pretty much at all. The other things that I can say is like, sure, he's got all those things backing up, but he's also playing into Necrophros and Pugna, right? So the ult's not that. I mean, it's probably pretty bad anyway, but I don't think it's. I mean, it's not that.
I just
don't know how this hero can fit in. That's the one thing, because I feel like it's a bit slow paced is the problem,
no, exactly.
and I feel like Ember is gonna struggle super hard again. So it's gonna be like S4 has to dictate so much of this game. That's kind of what I'm leaning on. But the Luna, I guess, like the ult in some games is completely worthless, and this one I can see it actually doing something if you're able to get into fights. But are you even gonna be able to be a hero in the mid game when I feel like Secret's gonna be kind of choking the map pretty quickly?
Oh no, exactly. I mean, this mid game feels like just a minefield for a Luna. Like how does Nico Baby get any sort of space? These heroes, this Monkey King, Pugna, Shaken, Necro, Gyro, all these 5 heroes, they're just going to be running at you. You know, there's going to be this whole portion of the game where this Luna is just going to get gone on, and other than a disruption, there's not going to be a whole lot of Alliance going to be able to do it. I think it's going to be tough. We'll see if Alliance can make magic happen.
to kind
Yeah.
of save, I guess. And they have like the coddle spell, so there could be that coming into play. But I'm clicking on the Luna, and we were talking about Luna. And look, he's got the Dominator queued up. I think I saw what? I saw
Okay.
Crit doing this on his pubs or something, I believe. Or I saw somebody doing this. I can't recall exactly, but I definitely saw someone do a Dominator build.
See up top, Hanskin getting rather low there. They do at least have this sort of strong combo, the Centaur and the Shadow Demon. So once they've got a few levels there, they may be able to try and really go in with a burst combo onto either Map2 or Puppy. So I think definitely out of the lanes, you know, this top lane is somewhere where Alliance might be able to make something happen, right?
Oh, absolutely. I like this lane, actually, for Alliance better than Secrets. I think Centaur has always been one of the better picks versus Gyrocopter, especially in lane. You see that damage disparity, 67 to 49. You've got a great animation. So definitely looking at top and liking that for Alliance. Mid, I feel like is a bit tougher. Limp holding his own again here for the first few levels. The bottom, oh my god, I'm seeing Netherward, actually. They're actually, like, that Netherward just took Nico Baby down pretty low.
I mean, they just pushed him out. I think FNG's probably dead, or at least very close to.
He's dead. Oh!
He's fine. He's got a salve and Tango's prepared, but he is going to have to sit back under the tower and heal up the potential.
I guess
of
the
this
tower armor
for Secret.
Tower armor saved him there from the 2 auto attacks because he had +3 armor because he was closer.
I think it definitely. Well, it went down to about 30 HP. It would have been very close.
Would have been very close.
Tower armor. Oh yeah, and you're right. He may have just died there. But yeah, this mid lane, it really is just sort of a repeat of what game 1 was for Limp, right? He's just got to play it safe, ferry out regen. He is going to take a beating anytime he tries to step forward towards the creep wave because of this Monkey King very easily able to get the stacks on.
Yep.
But
I think it's.
I think if anything, would you say this is not like if you're an Ember Spirit, would you rather lane against a Monkey King or a Necrophos? I feel like you maybe
I'd rather a Monkey King.
I'd agree. I think you'd rather pick the Monkey King because there's definitely points in the game as well where at least the Monkey King, you can see yourself killing this guy, right? You know, there's going to be portions where he doesn't have a BKB. You do have the magical burst. You +1 hero. You can kill the MK as this Ember.
I think you can actually just come out of the lane. Okay, I think with like a Necro, he's always full sustained. Every time you're walking up, you're just spending so much on regen. That's all. But Nisha, every time he gets like the 2-3 hits, you see Limp. He's got now 2 points in Searing Chain, so he can actually Searing Chain him and then build a distance away to not build up those Jingu stacks. So he's playing really well about that at least. And we see top, as we mentioned, the Centaur doing really good versus that Gyro lane. So the lane's much better set up for Alliance.
Oh no, without a doubt. We saw sort of an incredible gold lead from Secret in game 1, very early on in the lanes. And yeah, with the setup this time, it's absolutely not going to be as bad as the opening was in game 1.
Yeah.
They are going to get this sort of chance to have these lanes where they can do okay, and it's very important, you know, things like S4 just getting that level 6 as soon as he can, so that when Nisha starts to make the moves and maybe look to sort of play into the face of the Luna, there is that global safety mechanism for Nico Baby to rely on. You know, S4 will be able to save him from quite a lot of movements, unless sort of Puppy's in with a Fisher to block him off.
Really starting to see the exact same thing mid. It's actually much worse this time. It's starting to feel a little bit, because last time he actually had the like CS kind of even to be able to back up and keep bringing himself all that regen. He's not really getting all those last hits this time.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the thing.
And it's a DD bottom for Niche.
Oh, that don't feel good. That don't feel good when you see a Monkey King pick that up when you're playing him. But that is, you know, Limp's not going to be happy. He's not going to be a happy bunny.
Didn't see anyone check the 4-minute runes this time around. They're just literally just sticking in their lanes. That was pretty different, because I feel like I've seen most games I've seen, it's normally
guarded.
running.
Yep. Yeah, it really is. I mean, that's certainly going to hurt Alliance there for sure in that mid lane. I mean, you see already, Nisha's just getting in, and with that DD, he's got the Fairy Fire. One more hit. He needs it. Nisha's diving. He's going to get it without a doubt. That DD.
I lied. Monkey King's worse. He can jump into your jungle and chase you much easier.
I guess that's true, right? Yeah, that's. I think in terms of annoyance, it feels like the Necro's more annoying, but then suddenly you forget that the Monkey King can just kill you like that. I mean, he gets a DD. What are you going to do? Limp's going to be like, it's a DD. What am I going to do there? And I'd say, yes, I'd side with him. He got a DD. You know, you just got to sort of suck it up as the Ember, get back to lane and be like, you know what? Sometimes we all get a little bit unlucky.
Yeah, good play by Nisha, holding his skill point. He gets a level 5, gets the tree dance, knows that he can do that type of play aggressively there. Bottom, we did see, I think Yapso could say, what, a courier kill? He got 2. Okay, 2 courier kills within the last 2 moments. We are seeing that gold already starting to come to play. Hanskin is trying to alleviate some of that pressure mid.
Nothing more than just a bit of a mess round, and oh, thanks for the full heal, Nisha says. Back up to full HP, and can resume making Limp's life a bit of a living hell in this 1v1. As he sits 38-13 against Limp's 19 for 1. Not fun times to be had for Alliance in the mid lane. On the side lanes though, definite improvements from what we saw from them in the laning stages of game 1. Alliance are making sure, S4, he's having a good time top, 29 and 10. Able to pressure Matumba Man's Gyro. Map2, he's still farming, but it is being slowed a little bit.
The double beam is really adding up though. He's just beaming chakra beam right away. Zai has to start backing up almost immediately.
Yeah, that is certainly a good bit of harassment. I mean, Yapso's going to put down the ward to try and put him off from continuing to spam like that, but with the wave...
He's leveled the ward too. You see that? 2 points, 0 points in blast.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, the fantastic thing about Pugna is this hero feels incredibly strong. You play it in any position, and it seems as well you can just play it in a lot of different ways, right? Because even in support, is this sort of the standard to not get any points in blast, or is this something a little different for a support Pugna?
It's been changed, right? Nether Ward's gotten just got hit by a pretty big nerf, if I'm not mistaken. So did the
you need the
Crepify,
extra
so I think it's a way he's trying to counteract this spam that's coming out. He's not actually getting the hit every single time on them with the Nether Ward, but if a Luna is spamming 220 mana on beams, he's going to be taking a decent chunk of damage back.
Top lane, S4 does get blocked off. Anisha is going to come in with the rotation, lay down the Boundless, and S4 blocked off by Puppey. Will fall. Secret having their mid get active across the map. And sort of the great thing about their lane up top, despite the fact that Alliance's duo is very strong, Secret's two heroes, they set up perfectly for Monkey King ganks. Any sort of Fisher into missile, Nisha's easily going to jump on top of them with the Primal Spring and finish off the job.
Yeah, absolutely. He knows that's the only lane that he really needs to help out as this Monkey King, because he's like, yeah, Centaur and Shadow Demon are obviously going to have a pretty good time versus Gyro and Earthshaker, but now that one movement has given Matumba Man actually level 6, so it probably makes it a lot more difficult for Alliance to play aggressive or just play standing up too far up in that lane. See, Nisha, he did put a deep ward down actually while he was doing that movement, so ganked top, went through enemy jungle, put a ward down to watch the stacks that he's kind of inevitably expecting since they're playing versus Luna, SD, Ember, Coddle, so they know that they can just get some vision down around these stacks and they'll be able to contest them pretty decent. Bottom
lane! They did try and get aggressive onto Zai, but it was a bit of a bait. The two of them baiting FNG to play aggressive. If he gets too low, Zai's able to nuke him out of the lane with the Reaper's Scythe.
And Nisha now.
Yeah, Nico Baby on his own has got to be very careful. Nisha is, as you say, sweeping down here to try and catch this Luna as defenseless as Nico Baby is right now, hiding underneath the tower. Nisha's going to come hunting. They've scanned. They know that Nico Baby's still around. Nisha has found him. He's going to try for the TP out, but they have the strike. So not only dead, but also without a TP scroll available. He's going to have to take a long walk back from the base when he respawns to get to where he wants to farm, which at this point may have to be the jungle. As Secret, they're going to be able to push on and do a significant amount of damage to this tier 1. A TP comes in from FNG. It's going to try and hang around.
Be careful.
I was going to say, it's not even got the blast, so he's not going to be able to clear out
look
any
at
sort
that.
of wave.
Restoring Zai's mana there, Yapso with the life drain. It's pushing him up a little bit higher up the threshold.
Lane.
Stampede top.
Yeah, aggression from S4. He tries to get it onto Matumba Man. There's a few stacks of poison. The missile does connect on S4. Puppey stepping in, tries to slap him down, but it's not enough damage with the right click. Map2's still got to be careful. Hansian's getting a decent amount of stacks on this Gyro. He'll be able to duke out the 5th one, which should mean that Map2 will live. And in fact, Hanskin... it won't! It was enough! Okay. He got him. Hanskin gets the kill. He'll be happy dying here. He does not mind, as he was able to take down Matumba Man. At the same time, elsewhere, Limp was also able to make the rotation down bottom and kill off the support Pugna. So action from both sides of the map.
Matu kind of stepped back in. He walked directly back toward the SD, so he actually gets clipped by it there. Not playing as safe as possible. So a little bit of a breather. And Limp, I think, is like what? Limp's the big gainer, right? Like you said, he got the kill on Yapsor, and he got a ton of space in the last like 2-3 minutes to farm up and catch up.
Maybe do something about Zai here. Zai is going to get pulled back by the ult. Limp still got the Flame Guard going. Chains her up once more thanks to the help from FNG. As Limp gets 2 kills out of that movement down to the bottom half. And with the timing, he's able to refill the bottle with the bounty rune. Limp making these movements and certainly showing that despite a tough lane matchup, again, he He knows how to utilize his hero, even if it's not in sort of prime position after the laning stage. Mid lane, setups there. Nico Baby with the Helm of the Dominator has the route into the ult. Nisha's tried to pop the Wukong's command, but it's far too much magical damage for him to fight up against. As Alliance, again, they're making the moves. They're being able to kill off the cause of Secret one by one.
The Dominator Luna, the Troll Summoner net right there coming into play. Almost time for Nisha to actually get Boundless Strike off. It was up and off cooldown, I think, in 1 second when he did get those Jingu stacks. He was very close to maybe surviving, but Alliance, good rotations these last few moments.
Top lane, an attempt's going to be made onto S4. Does get missile with the cooldown commitment. They should have him, or maybe not. The Stampede, it won't save him. The second missile drop finishes off the Centaur. A Secret, after casualties on all areas of the map, finally able to poke back and take a core themselves. Down bottom, Hansken trying for some harassment onto Yapzor. Nisha jumps forward, looking to get the kill onto the SD, and Hansken will fall. Tried to turn with the disruption, but with the Nether Ward down, the damage was too much, and he gets taken out. Mid lane, Puppey, maybe looking for a wraparound. Zai ready to play aggressive with the Reaper's Scythe, but Luna's back in town. Nico Baby starting to push Zai away again with his Helm of the Dominator, this time bringing in a Centaur. The beautiful knockback, bringing Zai over the Fissure, using the Fissure against Zai. Smart play there from FNG, but Zai, he still has the Shroud, and it actually doesn't end up being that smart at all. Puppey's able to move in and dive. It looked like a great opportunity.
Raindrop.
I think
he ghost shrouded and then gets.
It was close.
Yep, it was. I think the raindrop might have saved him, and that was so sick by the Coddle too. But oh wow.
I mean, that's always the danger being up against a Necrophos. If you don't kill him, it's one of those heroes where there just becomes a point where you know you're screwed up. It's like we didn't kill him. He's going to turn. He's going to kill both of us, and as a bonus, he's going to be sort of max HP and mana after the 2 kills.
I thought he was going to go down
Necrophos
too.
Goes.
Because of the Ghost Shroud amp, right? Like he Ghost Shrouds, he gets hit by a stronger Lucent Beam, but yeah, that a little bit of Absorb might have been enough to actually save him. And now Secret in a pretty comfortable position here.
Middle tower is under attack.
4K lead.
Farming very well.
Again, not as rough as the opening from game 1, but still not a great place for Alliance to be. Nico Baby's got to keep his cool. He's, that little mess up around the mid. Definitely seemed like the plan was, was a good attempt from Alliance. You can see that they were that close to being able to get away with those movements that Nico Baby's making with the Helm of the Dominator. Wasn't to be the case though. Secret,
now
space
can he
is
farm? Is the big question. Nico Baby, he's gone this Dominator build, so he can look to set up some of these ganks, and the build-up is pretty decent. Can he actually farm? Because now he seems starting to put in more points inside of his Moonglaive, so he tries to, but he's got a long ways to go before he can try to catch up versus Gyrocopter. He's queued up the Ags, so he looks like he's going all in on the beams.
I like it. Hansken.
Puppey.
He's going to be able to lock Hansken away from the team. As Hansken will fall, they'll drop the Keeper of the Light. Oh, Hansken finally goes down. They'll turn to try and take down the Ignis Partus. Jump in from Limp. Does manage to get in on top of Zai. Can they get more out of this? S4 commits with the big Hoof Stomp. Limp's looking for the wraparound, but they'll throw down the Wukong's command. Try and create an area that Alliance cannot fight into. They do lose FNG. Alliance, can the rest of them get out? S4 and Nico Baby on the retreat, but Nico Baby, no, he stands his ground, drops the ult. He's ready to turn, comes back in onto Superman. Now looks over towards Nisha. S4, another Hoof Stomp, catches the Monkey King out, keeps him back away from the Luna. It will cost S4 his life. Limp's still in there. He's got to jump out with that final Remnant as he does run out of mana. He gets away, but Nico Baby able to pick up a little bit of a bonus off the back of that, getting Map2, baiting him into the high ground and getting that kill.
Bit of a crazy spot for them to try to go into fighting after all that kind of like comes down, right? The Fissure block, and then they drop the Will-O-Wisp right on top of it, trying to take that fight. But Secret has such a positional advantage, but they still actually end up getting 2 of the core heroes because of Matama Man overstepping too far into that high ground there. Still, Secret leading, but just like last game, Alliance is getting a little bit of things punching back, but not quite enough because they're not getting any control over the map. That's the problem. Is Secret's still dictating the pace of where all these fights are being taken? They're not getting their lanes pushed out good enough. So Secret's always just right back to the same position of beating on an Alliance tower instead of the opposite.
Now this top tower just about to fall. This Puppey, Matu and Zai will finish it off. Matu going for the Asher immediately into the BKB to make sure he has what it takes to fight up with them. The bottom lane kill. These guys are doing it. The SD Luna. It's punishing Nisha. When he's trying to play aggressive and push out alone. Up top, S4 tries to walk in for the Hoof Stomp. The Fissure will allow Zai to get out of harm's way.
Such a good Fissure, actually. trap them from going out and then trap the Ember from actually going back to his team too. Maybe a bit of luck there, but a really good block.
See what sort of timings we're going to see on Nico Baby's Aghanims. He's getting away with the farm, you know, for all things said and done. I thought this Monkey King, you know, Nisha would be able to do more about slowing him, but they've just been very smart with the way that they move the Luna around the map and constantly keeping him in a place that Secret haven't really been able to get to every single time. This Luna, he's getting the space.
They have good ward vision too. Like right now, if you see that ward up on the high ground there, they're actually seeing Nisha. It's gonna get dewarded pretty much right away. But they've been keeping good tabs of Nisha, while on the opposite side they're having a little bit of trouble keeping tabs of where Nico Baby's going. He's already level 11 on the Luna, so definitely catching back up pretty nicely.
And of course they all mid lane. TP in from S4, they're going to lead in with the Purge onto Zai. They've got the numbers here, Alliance. Secret's got to bring more in if they want to try and take this team fight. I don't think they're going to be able to. They've already lost Zai. They want to go for anything more, Alliance. They're going to know that Secret will have reacted and brought in a large amount. Jump in deep from Limp. He's looking for the backlines. Does find Yapsol with the chains. As soon as he catches Winanisha, he tries to back off. Another Remnant's out in place to help him get safely away from the combo of Matuma Man's Gyro. They get the tower, and they get out without losing anyone themselves. Alliance are able to play for the objectives here.
That was huge for them. That was the biggest move so far I feel like they've actually had. Biggest success. Zai overstepping his bounds a little bit too far, and you're playing versus Shadow Demon. If you're playing like, I think like two keyest heroes playing versus Shadow Demon that you have to be very careful of is Necrophos and Death Prophet. You get purged, there's little to no ways to save you. Now I think also with the purge, even Force Staff, which I don't think they have anyway, you can't actually like Force Staff to save people either, because I believe it has a chance of dispelling the Force Staff too, right? Yep. So there's a lot of different reasons why like Shadow Demon now is even better versus it. So yeah, Zai gotta be a little bit more careful of his position. A little bit too far up.
And you know, we've got to mention, you know, the Axe is going to be incredibly potent for Alliance, because they do have the Ember Spirit combo, right? You know, without a doubt, one of the best heroes to have the Aghanim's Eclipse cast on, because this Ember, he'll get on top of whoever needs to be gotten on top of, right? This Eclipse, it's going to hit the targets, because Limp's always going to be able to get in to those backlines like we just saw. And for Secret, now they're not going to be at a point where they're ready to play against that. They need BKBs in protection. BKB, it's just about a recipe away from Matumba Man. In terms of Nisha's itemization, Echo Saber into the Maelstrom, so BKB is still very far off from him. This level 12 Eclipse with the Axe, which is 1200 gold, Nico Baby's going to have it. It's going to make this mid-game team fight for Alliance incredibly strong. Yeah.
With the Stampede 2 on top, right? If they have so many different ways to actually access and get into the back lines. But yeah, Map2, I believe he'll have that BKB pretty much finished, but Nisha, like you're saying, him as well as Zai, gonna be pretty vulnerable, and I don't believe, is there any like hood or pipe coming up for Zai?
He's got the hood right now. Is that coming out?
He's got the hood, I believe. Okay.
Yeah.
They need they need all those pipe, BKBs, everything.
They do. Yeah. You cannot underestimate how much damage the Aghanim's Eclipse does. It really does just tear through these heroes early on. Smoke up from Secret. Puppy and Nisha ready to make a move with this Blink Dagger on the Shaker.
It's about a minute left till these outposts. They're trying to get themselves positioned around this area too. Get some new wards put around here. Maybe they get a catch.
They're going to look for Limp. Jump forward. Has Limp got any protection? They drop down the Ignis Fast. That's going to be able to pull them back. FNG with a beautiful save. No hesitation as he commits that ult. Does cost him his life, but it saves Limp, allowing the Ember to jump out and away from that four-man movement from Secret, and the attempt with the Blink Dagger to make a play happen. Very, very nice stuff from FNG's Cottle so far this game.
Very clutch. 40 seconds. Do they have any? Did they get any extra wards down here on Secret? I don't believe I see another one in place. Puppy has it though available, and Puppy's also with that Blink Dagger. He's about to hit level 12 as well for that better cooldown, more so on the Echo. The most important thing. Now hits it. Going for this mid tower, and 700 for BKB, and we see that pipe for Zai also coming up. They know there's no Will-O-Wisp, so they're feeling quite strong right now.
I mean, still T-Fizz coming in, Alliance. They are going to try and poke around at this, or at least look for the tower tonight. S4.
He's got a pipe.
Standing strong, does have a missile coming in, won't be able to get the tower tonight. Map2's able to finish it off. Jump forward with the Primal Spring, homing missile connects onto S4. The Wukong's command drop down as well. S4 pots the Stampede, he's trying to get out the Reaper side, holds him in place, but it's not enough damage to kill him. S4 will still live. Now comes in the cooldown with the Boundless Strike and the from the Absol. They do finish him. Jump forward. They do for anything more here. Another jump from Limp with the sleight of fist. It's bringing them low. Niche is in trouble. They've already lost Map2. There's Puppy, though, with the slam on the backlines. Gets handscan. 3 dead on Alliance. But now with the Eclipse, they're ready for the cleanup. Limp's going to look to jump over towards Puppy. Puppy, it's got Blink in 12 seconds. He will be able to pick up a bounty rune. There's a Remnant in 5. Limp should be able to close the gap here. There it is. Doesn't even need the Remnant to close it initially. Has the slight chains combo. Jumps forward. They'll finish off Puppy as well. As this fight, it's coming together. We started to see a glimpse of the potential of that Aghanim's Eclipse coming in at the end to allow Limp to have a bit of an easier cleanup. But Secret's got to be careful. Alliance's team fight is nothing to shake a stick at. Their combo, it hurts.
Yeah, and S4 actually being tankier than I think they expected him to be, because he picked up the pipe literally as he TP'd in. So he popped the pipe, he's standing in the front lines. The pushback on the Wukong's was up. The pushback was kind of weird. It still was up, kind of boxing the rest of them out from going that way. But S4 just goes and takes the north route. Poppy actually blocks them and traps them inside with that neutral camp there. But the SD and the Ember actually just hold their ground and fight versus the rest of them there, dishing out a good chunk of magic damage. That was an interesting way the fight happened. I was like, oh god, they're in a tough spot. That fissure block is just trapping them down there, but who's trapped with who?
Bottom lane.
Another fissure.
They're going in on S4. He's been blocked off. He does have the pipe and Hansken also around, ready to hold back whoever goes on him. S4 will manage to escape. The flak bringing him low. Map2's trying to chase, but they'll hold him in with the Demonic Purge, slowing down the gyro. Puppy still jumps in. A beautiful line there with the 3-man Fissure. Will allow him to finish off FNG. But again, it is just FNG to fall. The rest of Alliance escape. Nico Baby getting some serious space up top. Closer and closer towards that level 18, which is going to make that Aghanim's Eclipse even more deadly. Mid lane, jump forward, they get the opening with the Boundless Strike into the clumsy net. Do they have the damage kill off Limp? He gets the chance for the Sleight of Fist and the jump out with the Remnant. He's fine. S4 moves into position to punish the follow-up there from that disruption combo. Hansken with that setup, they get one. They can look to try and chase for more. S4 looking to close the gap onto Zai. The Lucid Beam starting to come out. Eclipse is back available in 15 seconds. Can S4 get any closer? No Stampede for 50. So I think it'll be hard to get Zai. Hansken, he's got the Ether Lens. Is he going to be able to have the reach for that disruption? He's not going to look for any further. He's up to the high ground, Zai and Alliance. They don't want to go poking any further than needs be.
Pretty good though. They're reacting really well versus Secret's aggression. They're closing every single hero on top of them almost right away. Nico Baby's really going for the spell damage. Also seeing he took the Lucent Beam cooldown as we saw there. Yeah, they're reacting really well versus those fights. And they're getting, I mean, I want to say a little bit more control. Ooh, double smoke used by Alliance by accident there, but they're starting to build up a little bit more control in this game, even though the gold lead is still going in favor of Secret. That experience is still even.
Radiant are scanning.
So the plan is with the smoke.
Okay, they're gonna go for a big wraparound. They also get the scan successfully on mid.
He's just at level 18 on the Luna. So this Eclipse is going to hurt as long as Nico Baby can get it off. But look at this movement from Secret. They've gone to Nico Baby on the backlines. The Luna, he needs help. He needs it now. The defensive disruption will give some time for Nico Baby to get that Eclipse out. The pull's in there for the Ignis Furnace, but the Luna is dead. The Eclipse will end. And with the Reaper Size slamming down onto Hansken, Secret, they get the 3 of them. Able to outmaneuver Alliance there with that play, getting in, getting on top of the Luna. The rest of Alliance, they just led in a little too far. They weren't in position to protect the Luna. He dies too quickly, and Secret can now get the space to go for Roche as well.
Dream. I think that's the dream move there for Secret. They smoke on smoke action. They actually catch the Luna drifting in the back lines. Puppy now?
I mean, he's sort of baiting Limp and an S4N. I think Secret, they can have a bit of a poke on this. Limp slow on mana. He's got 3 stick charges, no remnants. Bit of a focus there with the light train. There's Map2, Zai and Nisha. They'll turn towards S4. Try and play for what they feel is the easier kill, and they'll get it. Another death on Alliance as things starting to really crumble. That one fight, that one move from Secret really feeling like a very painful blow to the momentum that Alliance was trying to build up against the odds, as they're now 10k down and they've got to deal with the Aegis sitting on Nisha's Monkey King, as well as that impending BKB that's going to be closer and closer. Once he has that BKB, between the BKBs and the pipes, it's much harder for Nico Baby to find the window to get anything done in the fights with this Aghanim's build.
Yeah, and also even like the Amber Spirit too. Sure, Limp is dealing some physical damage in the fights, but a lot is still magical with like Maelstrom and all that too. So yeah, these BKBs are gonna really prove to be a huge problem for Alliance. even though the fights have already been really hard for them, this is just going to make it even more so.
It's going to be all about the way that they can sort of bait the BKB usages out of Secret. You know, having at least the Ember. It is a hero that can sort of
blink on S4. That's what makes it so hard. He can't actually, like, you know, he's gone for the pipe build and he's 0-5 to 9 in this game. He doesn't have a way to actually, like, they don't have a good way to start the fights, and also they don't have a good ways to bait BKBs in this game because of that.
Yeah, I think it's only the Ember really that can get in and out. And I mean, as you said, you know, an Ember on his own jumping in, Secret's not going to panic. They're not going to sort of fat finger the BKB anytime soon. You know, they are going to hold it, knowing that Alliance are going to be looking to punish any misplays. Top lane. Disruption on Tanisha. They may be able to bring him down the once. They do. That's the Aegis gone. Saw this happen in game 1 as well. A few situations where Secret do tend to lose those Aegises pretty easily.
I think he thought he'd live because he'd get the Boundless off with his Jingu, but he's SD ulted, so you can't actually get your Jingu mastery on you. It instantly dispels it, so he gets the Jingu built up and then Boundless and doesn't get any life. Don't think he expected the gank anyway, but maybe he was expecting to survive it because of that.
An 11k lead though still for Secret. Limp does have his BKB done, so can afford to play a bit more reckless, getting in there and being a much more reliable sort of placeholder for the Eclipse to be dropped.
They're actually going for a play here.
Map2 incredibly quickly, but he's being healed up by the life drain. Puppy jumps in with the slam. S4 is gone. They turn over towards Limp. Limp able to jump out with a Remnant. It is just one hero down, and Map2 did use a BKB. Still hard for Alliance to really punish that when they are outnumbered. Secret still standing 5 strong between the Greaves and the Pipe. Zai able to keep his team fully healed up and ready for any further fights.
He got really far in really quick, like no Blink Dagger. He just like stampedes and tries to get on top of a BKB Gyrocopter for them to go for that burst. And they didn't have their Luna. Nico Baby was farming jungle trying to get his BKB finished. It looks like a little bit of, I don't know, some disconnection maybe by Alliance, or they were trying to sneak a play in somehow, but it was pretty tough. Zai is far up, though.
He's got the Greaves back in 5 seconds. That life train from Yapsor should be able to buy him time enough to pop those Greaves. Greaves are back up, he'll pop it. BKB is committed from Limb. The Aghanim's Eclipse will be dropped down. They'll still finish off Zai. Zai, not enough self-protection to keep him safe from that ultimate. So Alliance are able to get something again. You know, when you do build around this Aghanim's or Luna, it is still a very long cooldown ultimate. So now a 2-minute period in which you as a team, as Secret, aren't too worried about Alliance looking for any action. It's very hard for them to fight without their carry sort of main weapon being offline for this long.
Yeah, I mean, their damage is going to be pretty limited now besides that. And they're playing into the 2 BKBs anyway. Their physical damage on Alliance is just, it's not really quite there. And it won't be there for a very long time because of the build, of course, from that Luna and Ember, who are both just magic damage oriented. Secret just sticking together. Matumben has queued up his final item.
Yeah, I mean,
we also did see that Map2 did get the Satanic and Paladin Sword, even though it's not, you know, they don't boost each other anymore, right? Paladin Sword doesn't boost Satanic anymore. Was one thing I was reading.
It does, right?
I was reading that it got changed.
It still amps the lifesteal, right? It amps the lifesteal portion, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't. What is it? There was another thing that people were posting about that I was reading about that I actually understood. Like regen and numbers were changed a little bit.
Okay, that's how it is. Yeah, I'm reading this and it says lifesteal by 17%. You know, if it doesn't do that, I'm sending it back for a refund.
There was something I did see posted about it not being as strong as it was, but they're still in a godly position. Now they're just running together from lane to lane. But yeah, I thought I was reading something that some different thing was changed about the way lifesteal interacts with the Paladin Sword. I could be totally wrong though, but
sounds less like a Paladin Sword and more just a Paladin stick. Doesn't sound very good at all if that doesn't work.
I'm not sure. I was reading something, like I said, could be totally wrong, but there's lots of different changes that have been happening in patches.
There has. And many more to come, hopefully. I feel like I'm always hungry for the next patch right now. I'm waiting for the big one, the one where we sort of get hero changes. You know, suddenly, you know, different skills are in. So far, it's just been, oh, what's happening? New patch. It's a load of nerfs. It's a load of nerfs. It's a load of nerfs. I want some good stuff. I guess.
But it's nice actually being able to move.
Got a buff.
Yeah, you can move though as support heroes now with boots though. Like the 280 heroes, you get boots and you're just like, yes, instead of getting % based movement speed. That was pretty crippling.
That's true. I mean, I guess, yeah, you're right. As a support player, you can at least find some sort of nice changes. And what's the plan here for Alliance? It may just be waiting for Secret to come in. Finding the fights on their own terms is getting increasingly harder and harder with Secret having the tools to respond. All this space, Map2 just a relic away from that rapier that, you know, that he's going to build it, and they're going to look to win the game with it.
There's a blink now on his lead.
Oh, and he followed the Fisher, not there in time. Limp's able to juke out. See if they can get this tower down. It's tier 2. Do they really want to try and fight outside the base? Alliance, they're looking for a wraparound. S4, they've got to get a perfect blink stun to make sure no BKBs come out. It's going to be so hard, though, with that Satanic and that status resistance. Matuma Man is more than likely going to have an opportunity to pop BKB. They'll lead him with the Centaur, trying to get some vision, bait something out. But no reactions from Secret. They're standing strong. Map2 will be glimmered. S4 is going to look for the commitment, but this is such a hard target to go on. He pops the who's stumping the double edge, but there's no follow-up. They just... getting on top of this gyro whilst there's a Pugner and I mean any of the heroes sat behind him, it's just an impossible target. This Map2 gyro is massive.
Yeah, I don't think they can't burst him in the time. Like in a hook stomp, if they can do it like absolutely perfect with like every single little thing hitting him, like all the beams connecting as the stomp comes out, maybe, but that's such a risk. He clicks BKB, he's full HP, and he's gonna turn it. So this is just so tough for them to take the fight because they just don't have good physical damage. They're trying to put themselves on the outskirts of the fight to look for a perfect jump, but yeah, Secret, like you said, they're just sticking like 1 or 2 people right behind Map2. He gets a glimmer, he'll be saved. And both of them do have glimmers. We see Yepsor as well as Puppy have itemized that way this game, knowing that there's only the magic damage that he has to worry about.
Yeah, we sort of saw clutch plays from Secret with the 4 staffs last game, and yeah, this time it's just sort of game of the glimmers.
Yep.
Glimmer's just going to be the answer to anybody that gets jumped on by Alliance's pretty much fully magical oriented sort of combo.
Start beating on top. Zai forces a reaction back. Zai's also finished a Holy Locket. Did this item get buffed yet? I don't think there was a single change on Holy Locket, was there?
No, I think it's sort of a BM item that you buy, and you're like, look, I got a Holy Locket.
As for forced to stampede defensively to get out a defensive demonic purge too, thrown onto Nisha.
Matu. Again, they're trying to jump, but the fish is out. Puppy does whiff the Echo Slam. So that's something for them. Limp's trying to jump into the backline. There comes out the Eclipse, is enough to get the kills. Nisha's falling low. Limp, the chase, it catches the 2 of them. They'll kill off Nisha. Can they get Zai? Zai starts to heal up, and Matu, of course, he's still full HP. The BKB will end, but it doesn't matter. He waltzes over, rips apart Hansken. They just cannot kill this gyro right now. He is too fat, too farmed, and in 200 gold, he is going to have his rapier ready to go. Alliance, they'll try their best to defend this, but Secret, they have the power to take what they want right now.
And it was quite pretty. You saw all those beams, but we see that tank ability just come in. I mean, Zai, he's an absolute beast with all these different sustain items coming into play. And yeah, they just popped the BKB and the Satanic. Sure, Nisha gets brought down, but the core of the lineup does stick together. They don't get a Rax, though, because of those double buybacks that 2 come out. But a big lead, and I believe Roche is going to be spawning any moment now. Matamba Man has his rapier ready. He's got it locked at the moment.
Boy.
He hasn't quite assembled it yet. Maybe waiting for the BKB cooldown to come up before he does. He's being a little safe.
All right, okay. He's been sensible. All them. Off you go, Matu. He's going to try to chase it. S4 does jump into the backlines. He gets the 2-man stomp onto Yapsor and Puppy. They'll start turning their attention over towards him. Stampede is popped. Limp moves in. His BKB is about to wear off, so he has to be careful. S4 will be left to die in the river. Reaper scythed out of the game for a minute and a half. And now Matu. I mean, he's probably playing super safe. He doesn't want to put it together. No, okay, does now. That he knows the Roche is up. He knows this is going to be a guaranteed Aegis pretty much for himself.
River bottom. They actually catch him. Yep, our Puppy as well as Tanisha. They find Limp when he's trying to do some sneaky type of maneuver. I saw something bugged. I think the SD illusions finished Rapier when he made illusions of the gyrocopter for a second. I saw some pop up on the side, but because he had it locked. So I guess when he put illusions, it unlocked the illusions and made Rapier illusions.
That's a feature.
Interesting. But they will take that successful fight now with this Rapier as well as Aegis Cheese. They've got all the tools needed to finally close this one out for themselves.
Yeah.
Last chance for Alliance.
I like the idea with the Aghanims Luna, but against a team like Secret, it's just going to be so tough to sort of play something like this. They're going to be able to wait it out. They're not going to get caught out by the sort of cheese, and it ends up just being sort of a mean too far from Alliance.
I just felt like Secret was super prepared for Ember Spirit today, at least from what I saw. The first game they completely counterpicked it. Second game they did kind of the similar. Like, you know, they picked the Necro in both games to address it, even though it wasn't in the lane so much this time. I feel like it still puts Ember a lot on the back foot, just playing versus all these heals and just having these core heroes that are just innately good versus you. Secret just with a good game plan coming into today.
Now all Alliance has got to do is get the Rapier. If they can do that, there may be a chance. Now, getting it's not going to be easy. S4's going to try with the jumping, but a little bit of miscommunication there as the Stomp and Destruction came in at the same time, so Map2's going to be fine. Even if they did land the combo, unlikely they can burst through him unless they really throw all 5 bodies on top of the gyro. And even then, with this Rapier, Map2's probably likely to clean them all up. They finish off the top racks and have a bit of a poke with the slight chains, limp. That's all they can offer. They do commit with the 3 remnants. Now with the ult, can they get the big kills? They jump in onto the monkey. They do get Nisha. They'll turn over towards Zai's being pulled in by the Ignis Virtus. Map2 still with the Aegis and BKB and Satanic ready to pop when he feels it's needed. Does use the Satanic to start healing himself back up alongside the life train provided by the Yapzor. They'll finish job. Ignis Virtus. And S4 jumping once again. Another chains combo onto the gyro. And again, that was the Eclipse. It did get a big kill onto the Monkey King. But that's all it's going to find for a couple of minutes, unless they can catch them out one by one outside the base. The smoke, the jump, S4 gets the 2-man stomp, but there's no follow-up. No one can get over towards him on the back lines. Hansken gets focused by Zai, who continues to try and push Limp away from being able to jump over towards the supports of Secret. Limp's still going to try and step in. He's got no remnants though for 30 seconds. He only has the slight chains to play with. It may just be enough. He looks for Puppey, but he has to jump out defensively, rip the remnant. Nico Baby dies to Matuma Man. There's a buyback available on this Luna, but the base is in shambles. Secret are at 31,000 gold lead, and they're looking to close up the game here. There may be one final fight in this for Alliance. Still, with over a minute until the Eclipse is online, they don't have anything to fight with. You will buy back Nico Baby.
The last hurrah, the last smoke. They've got Stampede. S4, he's going for the big wraparound play. Spots Yapzor. Wants the back line.
Jump. And we'll get the support Pugner. Or will they actually?
Oh.
Yapzor's still alive. He's able to turn, and with the suck, he's healing back up. They can't even kill the Pugner. He's still alive. He's glimmered another defensive decrepify. Yapzor's going to be able to walk away, and now Limp, he's committed in deep. He's got the slight, he has the 1 charges. Is it enough to save him? He's trying his best to run away. A missile is inbound. The chains will lock down the Necrophos, but their flak hits kill him off. They've lost their Ember. GG, well played is called, and Secret, they'll take this game 2. Like game 1, pretty one-sided. Alliance just couldn't get their draft to work. Secret are able to work and punish the timings that Alliance would have had to look for. And again, they look as strong as ever in the second game of the series.